Everyone stay silent.
Okay, ready? Welcome to the Patreon podcast, everybody. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming on. Tell your friends if you got them. If you don't, we're your friends.
Parasocial relationships, totally normal.
We have a very special guest here, Nolan. Hello, how are you, mate?
Hi.
I forgot your second name. What is it?
Ask him.
No. You invited me on your podcast.
No, Jack did. I only just found out you were here.
Gould.
Do you have any guesses?
Gould.
Yeah.
That was the street I grew up on.
Was it really?
Yes.
Wow.
It really
start over?
was.
See how much it means to you.
Gould?
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
What was the address?
No, I'm not telling you that. Bloody.
Do you get a guess on my middle name?
Oh, okay. It's a Nolan
Street.
Gould.
Elliot.
It does start with an E.
Yeah. Well, I just going Elliot Gould. That's fine.
Elijah?
It's entertainment, baby.
It's
Like Chuck E. Cheese.
Like Chuck E.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Wait, what was your middle name?
It's Elijah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was entertainment.
Bingo.
That's a very American name, Elijah.
What's your middle name?
Well, my real name?
Oh, yeah, no, don't tell us.
James is my real middle name.
What's your middle name on your stage?
Yeah, what's your stage middle name?
Entertainment.
Joseph.
Jim Joseph Jeffries?
Yeah, why not?
Wow.
That kind of works.
Catchy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I just came up with it.
Do you have a middle name,
Now I've
Kelly?
got a middle name.
Amanda.
They're stupid middle names, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're dumb. They're pointless.
Well, my middle name is Christopher, and teachers didn't believe that my name was Forrest. Or they didn't believe my first name was Forrest, so they'd always call me Christopher Shaw. The roll call, like when I was in a new class, like they'd be like, Christopher Shaw, it's Christopher Shaw here, and they wouldn't answer, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm Forrest, and then they'd get mad at me because I should have known that they were saying, I was like,
why?
Fuck you.
Why wouldn't they believe you?
And it wasn't that they were. I think they would look at Forrest Christopher Shaw to be I think they would just assume Christopher was my name and not Forrest because it wasn't a common name. Yeah. So they'd start saying it and then they get mad. This is like first day of class, whatever. It happened many times.
But then Forrest Gump came out, and you must have had a bit of relief.
I doubt that.
Yeah. It was very helpful. Nobody yelled anything out.
I did. Yeah.
You must
have been overjoyed. Oh, it's won the Oscar, has it?
This movie isn't going to do anything.
It's about a simpleton. Oh, good.
I didn't see the movie for years because I was like, fuck this movie. I can't believe it came out, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm running around. I was like, oh, God.
Every time you ran somewhere, someone said something, right?
When I graduated, they're like, wow, he's doing it. So fat. When I graduated,
Don't run, Forrest, don't. You look like you'll cause yourself a mischief.
Your heart. Calm down, Forrest. Calm down.
Just got my heart checked. That's good, everybody. No, my family yelled it out when I graduated from college. My family.
What?
Yeah.
When you go, is it run, Forrest, run?
Yeah, run, Forrest, run. I'm like walking to the thing with my. I'm like, thank you.
It
Just
really
got a
does
college
be
degree.
your own people.
Yeah, all right, college boy.
Yeah.
I just golfed. I did. Matt Walsh had a charity golf tournament, and I golfed with. Well, the team ahead of me had Haley Joel Osmond. Yeah, am I saying that right?
Bingo.
Yeah, and so and then on the 18th hole, they had commentary when they had a playoff hole. And the comedians doing the commentary were doing the I see you getting second place. Like that guy,
God.
he must get that joke all the and he was on Forrest Gump. That's a double banger for him.
Was it Country Club adjacent, those guys?
Roy Scovel and
Jay Larson?
Yeah, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can't when you meet him. You want to make the joke. It's like I have a story about the time I stayed with John Cleese and Rob Schneider. And every time I tell the story and I go, well, in Australia it seemed to happen. It doesn't happen over here. But every time I was living with Rob Schneider for a couple of weeks during the pandemic, right? And then, you can do it, like that, right? And I was like, I'm just trying to get you can do it. Like that. And I'm like, how fucking hard must his life be?
Right.
If I'm just the guy telling the story about him, every time he walks on stage, his punchlines must just get tripped on.
But isn't that weird how strong the impulse is? Because you know for a fact that anybody who says that knows that this person has heard it 8,000 times before, but you still can't fucking help yourself.
Well, look, I get people coming to me, can you call my friend a cunt?
Yeah.
And I fought against it for so many years. But you've seen me, Forrest. You've seen me, Jack. I go like this. Give me the phone.
That's why we want you to have a cameo.
Yeah, give me the phone.
Yeah, there was years where you were like above it, like, no, I'm an actor.
I remember that.
No, it wasn't even that. I just don't want to call a stranger a cunt. It's such an aggressive word in this country, right? In Australia, I'd have no problem. In Britain, I have no problem. And then it's like, can you call my wife a cunt? I just didn't want like this man just called me a cunt out of no, because people take it so seriously and the thing. So, and
It would be great if they got the video and had no idea who you were. It's
Exactly.
like, why did you tell them to call me this?
Well, that's what happened when I did what's his name's podcast. Howie Mandel.
Yeah.
I did Howie Mandel's. He goes, "Do you think you could call anyone a cunt?" And I said, "Yeah, I reckon I can." He goes, "Ring my wife up right now." And I was like, "Oh God, fucking! Now I've got on podcast." But he'd call his wife.
And she didn't know who you were?
No. I went. How you going? You cunt. And she goes, "Oh, we watched you the other night." So she was down. She sounds like a nice lady, Howie Mandel's wife. So fun lady. But you got catchphrases?
Do I get catchphrases?
Yeah, I've watched all of Modern Family. I've watched all of it. I don't think you had a catchphrase.
No, I didn't have a catchphrase. I had like scenes that like stuck out.
Yeah.
Like, people always bring up. There's like one. It's so weird. It's stuck in people's brains where like Sofia Vergara.
She must have been hard to work with as a child.
How so?
We always had that teacher at school.
She like at one point is referring to my character and is trying to say Luke, but with the accent it becomes like Luke.
Yeah.
And then like people will always come up to me and do it, and I'm like, yep, that's the thing that happened. But at some point you just like, I know the actors and celebrities who like they hate like the thing that made them. I'm like, you just gotta give into it at
all
some point.
day. No, I fucking guns. Yay! I'm down. I'm at the moment. I'm trying to learn the gun control routine because I want to close with it in Europe. But it's hard to. It's even harder. It's harder to relearn it than to write the bloody thing, because when you first did it, it just comes off and you have ideas and you
Because you were doing it all the time too.
I'm doing it all the time.
Now you're memorizing it.
And now I tried to look at myself on YouTube, and it inevitably turns into hate. where you're just going, "You fucking idiot, you fucking stupid head." And I just watched. I'm on a game show in Australia, and I've been watching some of the episodes. It turns out I yell the whole time. Well, there's 100 contestants the whole time. I'm like, okay, your next question. We're gonna and game show hosts are normally a bit more controlled. I'm a mess up there.
Hey, did you guys see the guys screaming on Australian Jeopardy?
That's really what's happening.
Yeah.
It's weird because you're always so soft spoken.
Well, I don't. But also, my wife gets angry at me when I yell in the car. She goes, "You can just talk," but like the engine's going and everything. I'm in the car right now. I can't help it.
You're definitely getting older.
When you're talking on the hands-free.
Yeah.
I always yell in that.
Well, I've tried speaking at normal
hey!
volume. It doesn't work. It doesn't pick it up because the mics are so. You have to yell.
Yeah.
I say you
It
have
doesn't
to
work.
yell.
Yeah,
My
you have to
wife's
yell.
like, "Why are you yelling?"
It's the only way.
Because we're fighting. Because I'm angry at you. No, so I yell on this game show. Also, I think I'm somewhat likable on the show, but I read questions like a caveman. I'm putting in commas and stuff where they don't. That's why I want to get my other game show up and running, Fat or Pregnant. I'm telling you, it's a spin-off of Is It Cake?
Yeah. And is it you just guessing?
And you have to cut them open.
No, there's a contestant. and they have to
She's made of cake, obviously.
And there's another person, and I won't say what gender they are. I don't want to make it political.
Yeah.
But they might be fat or pregnant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the whole show.
You got to guess.
10 seasons.
I'd watch it. I would go on it.
You'd go on it.
You'd be a contestant.
Wait, it's an hour show?
2 hours.
Wow.
We're going to do backstory. We're going to have one of those.
It'll never get old.
We'll have one of those reunion episodes at the end, like they do at the end of Survivor.
Yeah, you check in. To
Yeah,
see
now-
those
Where are
babies
they now?
Yeah, Skinny or gave birth. That's when the reunion went.
wow.
I've just
Lost weight or gave birth.
Season two.
just started watching Survivor because I run out of Bachelor episodes, so I thought I'll give Survivor a bit of, because Dan Bacadol loves Survivor, so I thought I'll give Survivor a go, and then I started watching like episode 1 or something like that, and then now I'm on like season 22. I jumped a few seasons ahead, but I don't
How
really.
much TV you're watching?
I watch it just in the background. You don't need to follow it very hard. There's alliances, people not getting along very well. But I thought that season 22 was the last episode after the season because that was the last one up on Hulu, right?
No.
And so I'm like, fuck, these people are dressed really fucking like they're in the early 2000s. Like, why are these people dressed so fucking
Wait,
bad?
how many seasons are there?
44?
7 or some shit like that.
They have 2 a year. They've been going since 2000.
But even still, it's been going 22 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favorite shows, and I was telling my friend Stan about it. He just binge watched every single season, all 44, in the last year, and I was like, you need a hobby.
No, it
is a really good show, though.
It's fun.
What's really terrifying is like watching the years and decades roll by, but Jeff Probst's like never changing.
Well, this
And
is
he's
the
the
thing.
best. He's the best reality show host
He's
ever.
a very good host.
He's the best ever.
His dimples, you could get lost
Oh
in
my
them.
God, yes.
But he wears those. I've got the season where he wears the shirts with the pockets that are baggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you putting in
season.
there, Jeff? And now he's started to age. Like the last season we've got is like the COVID season. It's like 8 episodes. And he's looking, but there's always like ex-NFL players. And the thing about Survivor is at the end of it, they're always like, I can never talk to you again. You're a piece of shit. It's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game like it's meant to be skullduggery. You're meant to lie and cheat and all that type of stuff. I don't see.
I think most of them get over it by the time like a reunion happens or anything like that. But in the moment, it's $1 million.
Do you know who Charlie Parsons is?
I had that guy. I'm in that
Why does that
season
name
with the
sound
guy
familiar?
called Phil, who's the operative. He was like an undercover.
Oh yeah,
FBI.
it's Spies R Us or something like that.
Yeah, he used to think he was a CIA guy or something like
yeah.
that. He goes, I'm the operative. I know.
Charlie Parsons is the creator of Survivor.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why I know.
okay.
He also created Survivor Philippines, Survivor whatever else.
Oh.
So, and then, but under his IMDb, it says like, also, you know, he changed the face of television with creative hits, The Word, The Big Breakfast, and Survivor. I'm like, well, those other two.
Just say Survivor.
Yeah, just,
Oh, The Big Breakfast was a popular show in the UK.
okay, but still. He's created all the other Survivor. He's listed as a creator for that too. So then I looked up his net worth, but this can't be right. It says $1 to $10 million. There's no
that's not
fucking
that
way.
bloody-
It's got to be a different
He
person.
made some bad ones.
Yeah.
Celebrity
Gambler.
net worth knows nothing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
They have no idea. It's just some bloke having a guess, or a girl having a fucking guess. They don't know what you've invested. They don't know if you've got a gambling problem. They don't know if you've got a coke problem. They don't know if you're fucking, you know.
Let's see what your current one is.
Well, they never take divorces into account. You know, that's the big one.
Yeah.
12 million.
All right.
You're like, oh shit, it's accurate. Just kidding.
I'll take it.
I want to say they guessed mine was like 16 million.
Yeah.
And I was like, if that was the case, y'all would never hear. Like, I would be gone.
Oh,
Like, he did Modern Family and then vanished off the face. of the
I've
earth.
dated women who are
I have you at 12 as well.
12.
I've
Okay.
dated women who are actresses, right, and who have no money, right? No money. Right? And then I'll look online before the date. Oh, she's worth $4 million. I go back to a studio apartment. Where's she put this all?
This says he's worth 1.3 on this site. I'm like, that'd be the saddest thing I've ever heard. if
I
he's worth
think
1.
people think that actors and stuff like that make a lot more than we do, but he's
The
worth
creator of
Survivor
And
is
it-
worth
but all of
tens
them,
and tens of
Australia,
millions.
Philippines, he's listed on it. I'm like, I don't know, but it's got to be more than 1.3. That'd be really depressing. He's like,
that's
that's
a
all
bad
that's
deal.
Have you ever watched back Modern Family? Do you ever watch it back?
Yeah, if I want to take down like a trip down like weird cringe like
But it was your
Trumbo
child.
Lane.
It was your
Yeah.
childhood. So there's something nice about that.
Yeah,
because
how old were you when you started?
I was 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you know, like the actual set was awesome. Everyone was like really incredible. Still like a strange place for like a kid to grow up and like have your like awkward years blasted. So like if I ever want to like hate watch myself, like
Sure.
sometimes like I'll go back and watch like an old episode. But like the weird thing is going back, there were like certain jokes I didn't get at the time. Especially like early on that they're just now registering for me. I was like, oh, that was a sex joke. There was a whole episode we did where all the three young Dumfies walk in on their parents having sex, and I didn't really know what sex was at the time.
Of course not.
I was 10 years old, and so I just bullshitted my way through the entire episode. Like I knew
It's like
that.
me on the game show. I read out the answers. I still don't know what's
The answer is 5.
exactly.
I remember there was a joke that my character says whatever they were doing, it looked like Dad was winning. And I didn't understand what that was in reference to. I just knew that if you said it like it was a dirty thing, that like it would get a laugh out of people. Yeah.
That's cool.
Have you ever used it
awesome.
since?
Oh yeah. That's my go-to pickup line.
And when you meet girls these days, do they say like your own age?
yeah.
They must have watched you when they were 10 and they were... See, there's a weird thing. So my wife was on a Nickelodeon show, and I've said this before, but my wife was on a Nickelodeon show, and so she was like 19 when she was on the show, and the show was watched by 10-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So now if I'm walking along the street and I see like a 21-year-old girl who's losing their mind, I go, oh, that's one of my wife's fans, not mine. Like, is that odd when people reference you as seeing you as a kid, or?
You know, so I think the demographic of Modern Family ran like way higher than was Tazy on, was House of Anubis.
House of Anubis.
Yeah,
You ever watch House of Anubis?
I wasn't allowed to watch Nickelodeon or Disney growing up. I was only allowed to watch like weird math shows. So if I ever saw like one of the guys from Zaboomafoo on like PBS, I might lose my shit. Or like who's the guy from Blue's Clues? Like Steve, I might lose my shit.
Zaboomafoo.
Do you
ever watch the Boomafoo?
I'm looking it up right now.
No wonder you were
I
a
love the
sleepwalker.
Boomafoo.
Do you remember a show
Drama.
called The Edison Twins, Forrest, when we were young?
No.
Oh,
no.
God. It was just like these two twins that were really intelligent, hence the Edison twins.
Yeah.
Oh.
And every now and again, it was a sitcom, but there'd always be some mathematical equation they had to overcome. Like, Dad's truck is losing too much fuel. Oh, we put one of these things over, and then the wind will go like that, and then we'll save fuel money. Solved it again, and then it would always come up an equation.
This was my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Was shit like that.
Yeah, but you were younger than me. You at least had channel options. You know what I had in Australia, young man?
What?
4 channels. One of them had the cricket on all day. Right? There was no, so cricket's a 5-day sport, 8-hour days, right?
Yeah.
So there was no watching that. Another channel was just like, and the news would come on. So at 6 p.m. in Australia, all 4 channels would show the news.
Okay.
So you had no other option.
The same news.
Well, their version of the news.
Okay,
The news would be the same because the news is the same. But they'd all show the news. It was the Wild West, Australia. We didn't get cable until I was in my 20s.
What was the kangaroo show with the arms in front of the camera?
Oh, that was Marty the Monster.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Skippy.
Skippy.
We did a thing on the show about it.
Yeah, Skippy, there was so you know how you got like Lassie, right? You got Benji, all these dogs that help out and they're helpful.
Yeah.
We have a show in Australia called Skippy, which was about a highly intelligent kangaroo.
Oh no.
That used to solve crimes and stuff like that.
Sure.
It was always crimes that, for whatever reason, happened in the outback, happened in the bush.
Yeah.
It was always because he
Well,
lived
who
in
else
the-
is going to solve those crimes, Jim?
And he had a mate called Sonny. Sonny was the boy, and Sonny had to do school by CB radio because he lived in the country.
Yeah.
But they actually filmed it very close to my house. But they used, we thought there was one Skippy, but also kangaroos are as dumb as mice. They've got a little brain. They'll jump in kind of cars.
Little rodent brains.
Yeah. Like the chance of a kangaroo solving a crime is very slim. Anyways, but the kangaroos talk like this.
Yeah.
And the kangaroo would literally go up to jump up to Sonny and go.
And
he'd
he'd
go,
understand it.
"What's this? Oh, there's gangsters in the bush and they've stole a lot of money. Come on, Skip." Like that, right? And then they go off. And then there was the dad would have a helicopter because they lived in the bush, and the kangaroo would just get on the helicopter and look out. But as time went by, the kangaroo got more and more intelligent. And it started off as just this innocent animal, and Sonny would do most of the crime solving with his sidekick, Skippy. But as time goes by, Skippy started answering phones. With his paw, he'd pick one up.
I remember watching the videos. It was clearly dead kangaroo arms that they're using.
They'd go out in the bush, they'd kill a kangaroo, cut off a couple of its arms, and there's one where Skippy's
Oh,
playing.
it wasn't a cartoon?
No.
Oh, God.
Okay, get Skippy playing the drums up
Was
for
the
us.
series finale Sunny in a
I wonder
padded
what
room,
the-
or what,
Yeah, because there was one where he was dialing a rotary phone. I remember. He was with his dead kangaroo arm.
I wonder what that kangaroo thought when they saw it bring the prop master bringing in dead kangaroo arms.
Oh yeah, no. It
wanted
thought
to
I better act good. That could be next.
better not kick my fucking coworker in the
Bit of
face.
motivation, man.
You got it, Jack.
Yeah.
All right, so here,
Skippy's epic drum solo.
here we go. So there's an Australian head. There's Sonny. Well, that might be the uncle of the dad because it went for a long season. Sonny got older. Oh, yeah, full screen will really give us the whole.
There we go.
By dedicating this song to a very beautiful and talented young lady.
Oh, that's some bands come and guest start on the show.
Right, boys. 1, 2, 3.
Hippity hop, she'll stop the traffic when she passes by and stop and wish that you were where she's going. Hoppity hip, she'll skip into your heart. You'll wonder why the world is.
Where's Skippy?
Skippy's about to drum. Don't worry
I know,
about
but there's a
that.
drummer back there. That's the kid.
Well, there's some nice Australian
Is
kids.
this
Barefoot dancing. There's the dad. There's
Earring
Sonny.
and
That's Sonny. That's
Yeah.
Sonny there. Skippy the bush kangaroo.
That one looked like real arms.
No, they're going around the kangaroo like that, Forrest.
Yeah.
Oh man. I'm sorry. This explains a lot about you.
Well, it rated really well because we only had 4 channels. So you watched what was given to you. We used to watch that and the goodies, Doctor Who.
I was just reading the premise after Zubumafu. That
Zubumafu, get it
show's
right.
fucked up
Yeah.
too.
Show some respect.
What's wrong with that show?
I'm just reading what happens. These 2 brothers come on the zoo. Then there's
Yeah.
a lemur.
Yeah.
Then they
That's
give the
Zubumafu.
lemur some food, either garbanzo beans, sweet potato, or mango slices.
Yeah.
So
and he
far, so good.
burps, says, "Excuse me," spins around and shouts Zubumafu, and then he becomes a talking lemur.
Yeah.
That sounds good. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
I don't know if we mentioned this already, but we had like a Super Bowl thing in Vegas, and Jack wasn't there. But
He wasn't invited. Or?
He had his band. You know how he is with the band. He has to. The band comes first. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I pay him, but yeah. Anyway, so Jack wasn't there, but somebody was there. 2 people were there. Jack's parents. Jack's parents were there, but Jack wasn't there. I went and golfed with Jack's dad the day before. I'm very fond of both.
The day of the Super Bowl.
The day of the Super Bowl. I'm very fond of both your parents, but your mum she's the most social butterfly of a human I've ever met. She was wandering around the party. I was high as a fucking kite, right? I was on so much weed I was like this. And she just came up and she comes up. I was looking on the couch. And so she comes from the back of the couch and her head just ducks over the corner of my head like this. Your friends are lovely, Jim.
She was making the rounds. She made sure to talk to everybody.
And so our friend Drew, who's a good old Southern boy, right? And Drew, so she meets Drew, and Drew does the whole thing. I go, "This is Jack's mum," and he goes, Mrs. Hackett, your boy is a real fine boy. You raised a real nice young man there, real nice young man like that." And then your mother goes like this. Your mother goes, "Yeah, if you really dig deep, he's got a lovely heart in there."
Damn.
And I'm like, dig deep? Jack's the least diggable deep person I've ever met.
Yeah. It's on the surface.
That's a shallow grave.
You know Jack's a good guy. You don't have to chisel through and then find that little morsel of
Yeah, you
goodness in him, that little gooey center.
You might find a little nugget of goodness deep
God.
down. It takes a lot of certain.
That's what your mum thinks of you, Jack.
Well, I'll have to be nicer on the phone calls.
She has high standards. Who do you think's more popular, you or Sean?
I think my parents understand what I do for a living. My brother's tech company is beyond them.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
that doesn't
understand.
mean when
That
you were
doesn't make it more
kids.
popular.
Oh, and
Yeah.
they were, still me. He's so disorganized, and
Oh, is that how parents do it?
I was just easier.
This one's disorganized.
Yeah, he would take over we didn't have a kitchen table growing up because all of his homework would be over it, so we would just eat it like the counter.
Oh, I love those burgers.
The counter.
My wife always gets into me because she says that I like Hank more than Charlie. And I'm like, I just know him better. It's a 10-year-old versus a 1-year-old. I have chats with this one.
Yeah. He's got a whole ass personality.
Me and this one have like dates for like, hey, we got this TV show we have to watch. Don't watch it without me.
Yeah.
The other one, I'm just turning on Bluey every now and again.
Right.
Yeah,
You
you
ever
get
watch-
there with him.
Were you the one telling me about
it was
Bluey
me
last
talking
night?
about Bluey, yeah.
You've got this guy hooked on
Bluey is the number one children's TV show in the world right now.
Not a podcast goes by where we don't mention
mention
Bluey.
Bluey.
Yeah.
You would think we're sponsored by Bluey.
Nah,
we
Bluey,
should be.
man, because the other ones you watch, and Peppa Pig's got a few laughs, right? But Bluey's actually funny. The dad farts all the time. It's
That's
brilliant.
hilarious.
Because it's the
We'll watch it.
High standards.
It's the most like there's sometimes the dad's like leaves all other dads to shame. He's always playing with them and this and picks them up and goes, oh, you're a banjo, blah, blah, blah. But then sometimes the dad will just go is. And then the next thing you just see him on the toilet. Like he's obviously just shit himself. And it's meant for kids, but we got Bluey toys and we're all Blueyed up in our house now.
I mean, it's smart of them to make a show that's appealing to adults. You have to watch this shit all day. When your kids
I
are
like
young.
it because of the Australian accents. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel warm inside. I wonder what my son's going to sound like, though, the 18-month-old, because so he's got a Mexican nanny who speaks to him in Spanish all the time. He's got a British mother. He's got an Australian father, and he watches a bit of American TV. This kid's going to sound fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
What does your 10-year-old sound like?
He sounds American.
Yeah.
His mother's Canadian, but he sounds American. But like my son thinks that I sound like an idiot. Like Hank always goes, geez, your voice is weird, Dad.
Does he?
Yeah. He thinks I sound so odd. And he one time told me that his friends came over and they were all talking about it. Yeah, your dad's weird, man. Like, your dad sounds weird.
Didn't you say Australians it up though online?
He Australians it up online. Like he does this. He goes, hey, go shoot that guy. Okay, run around. Help me. Good work, mate. Don't say, mate. Because
appropriate.
Because I don't like when Americans say "g'day." That really, because you never do it right.
G'day.
Good day, mate.
Yeah,
G'day.
when you go "g'day," you don't do it bad. You've spent time in Australia, and you've been through more Australian women than bloody I don't know.
Me.
Yeah. That's not true.
Zero.
Well,
That's not zero.
well,
Definitely not me.
well, you've dated two.
I dated one a long time ago, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
One more than me.
No.
I thought it could be funny
It is?
if we hear the notorious Halloween party story from Nolan's point of view.
I don't. This is okay. We can, but my wife will be super angry with me for bringing it up. But
She
let's-
does not subscribe.
That's
to the
fine. I can
Patreon.
live with that.
let's
I can live with her being mad.
let's give it a go.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Oh, I'm also curious to hear it from your. I haven't really spoken.
My
to you
wife,
about this.
my wife, who hardly does any substance of any description. She's pretty clean living vegan, right? My wife is as clean living a human being as you can. She has the baby. She's breastfeeding. No alcohol, no nothing. No alcohol from during the pregnancy, and when she did drink, she only drank a little bit. And we don't have, in-laws or anything like that to take care of the child. So very rare we get a babysitter. And we're going to Nolan's house for a party. And my wife pre-drank a few drinks, and she was literally walking around the house like this. She was dressed as a slutty cop, which is very unlike her as well. Like, she's just like, I'm going for it. It's Halloween. And she was just like, I walked in the house before we left, and she was like this. Mum's not out, right? and I don't drink, so I'm
She's
just
quoting your stand-up.
Yeah. I did a whole routine about whenever you see like a woman holding her shoes with vomit on her or all that type of stuff. Don't be mad. That's just a good mum who's found a window of opportunity.
Yeah.
They go the mums, the new mums. As soon as they get that, they go hard.
As they should.
Yeah.
I know,
They
but it's
should.
also
Deserved.
it's like heroin. You don't go back to the last amount you were taking. Drop it off a bit.
Yeah.
You haven't taken it for a
Yeah.
while.
And
so
back
anyway,
up.
so she had and this is so her. She had 2 alcoholic kombuchas.
Hard kombuchas.
Hard kombuchas. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then she had a shot of tequila, and then we show up at the party, and I'm trying to play I'm super high, and I'm trying to play
We're teaching you how to play beer pong.
I don't have the coordination for it. The ball's too light. My hand goes. I need a ball with a bit of body to it. So I was chatting. I was a bit. My wife's like, I went off with Jack. And
I became her drinking buddy, which ended very soon.
went off with Jack and did shots and everything, and I'm off chatting to people.
Yeah, that kombucha stuff's not a good base.
Yeah, not a good base. No,
It's not a drinking
it probably
base,
ate
yeah.
up all of the bacteria that would have eaten the alcohol. Anyway, we were there for maybe 40 minutes, and my wife came over, and she was so drunk. I've never seen her this drunk, and she went, kiss me, and then a real aggressive, and I went, all right, honey, because all sorts of sobers, and I'm like, all right, honey, you're a little bit drunk. Yeah, I'm your wife. I'm your wife. You better kiss me. And I went, all right, how about you sit down?
Yeah.
So we laid down on one of the couches. She'd been there for 40 minutes. And I went, she laid down on one of the couches. And then I said, all right, let's get up. And then she couldn't really stand. And I was like, oh no, I got to get her out. Now, in this time that I was sitting on the couch, the party had gone from like 50 people to 500.
Yeah, I left right as it started to build because I was like, I can see that this is about to get so crowded and I'm going to have a panic attack. I was like, I'm out.
In the blink of it. And all the time I'm dressed as Elton John in a sparkly sequence outfit. I don't know why that adds to the story. It just does.
It does. Yeah.
So I'm like with the slutty cop and I went, all right, got to get you out of here, right? So I take her all the way to the door. It takes over 10 minutes to get through this great.
It was scary packed.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And I was holding her up, right? And I got her, and I let her next to the stairwell right near your door, which incidentally is very close to the Modern Family household where the stairs are. No. No, you have a door than stairs, right?
Yeah.
That's all it is. So I lean her up against the wall, and she goes, oh, I left my phone. I left my phone. And I'm like, forget about it.
We'll buy you a new one.
We're not going back. I was like, it'll show up. I can't go back through there. I can't.
Yeah, I found the phone like 5 hours later when everyone left.
So she went, it's back at the couches where we're laying down. So I was like, all right. So I leant up against the stairs. I said, you do not move. Don't you move. Because there's so many people here. I said, I'm going to get it, but you stay there and then I'll get us an Uber. So I go back another 5 minutes through the crowd because I didn't have the person this time, so I got through a lot quicker. And I went, and there was all these people sitting there, of course, now because it's an empty seat. And I've gone, everyone, can you get up? And I've got my phone out, and I'm lighting around. Can't find the fucking phone. I go back to the stairwell. She's fucking gone. She's gone. And now I'm doing that. I told you, fucking, you know what I mean?
I left her right here.
I think you text me or call me and go, I've lost Tazy. I can't find her. Help me track her down.
And poor Jack, he's not working for me. He's having a night off.
I'm ready to help.
Yeah, well,
honestly, he was kind of working for me. I was dressed up as Satan, which again, I don't know how it helps the story, but it just does.
Oh yeah,
and Jack was dressed up.
I was
as,
one of the imps,
one of my
disco
little
imps.
one of my sexy little
yeah.
imps.
You guys had like fucking horns coming out of you and all that. Yeah, you all look pretty. There was one bloke at the party dressed like Jack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just had a doohickeys hat on and that necklace. And it was my favorite outfit.
It was funny because I saw him outside and I was like, that guy looks just like fucking
Man, Jack did not dress up.
And then I realized it was a costume.
So even with your hardened heart, you were helping?
So I can't find her, and so I'm like, fuck. And so dressed as a mirror ball, I go back into the crowd, looking around like this. So another 10 minutes or so, and then I text Jack, I've lost Tazy. I've lost her, blah, 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 right? So then...
I couldn't tell if at first you meant physically or just like emotionally lost her.
Like years ago. Anyway, so so Jack looking around. I don't know who found it. I think we found her simultaneously.
Yeah, I think we both came across her on the couch.
She was on the couch. Now she was dressed in black. I think the couch was a darker color. It looked like
a dark blue.
Yeah, and
couch,
so she sort of blended into the couch. You could hardly see her, and she was asleep in this thing. And I went, all right, I got to get her home. So I sat her up and I went, all right, I'm getting an Uber. I call the Uber. I go to lift her up and off she vomits. Down. I had to get my sequenced outfit dry cleaned because I don't know when I'm going to wear it again, but you can't have it just molding up.
No.
So I get her into the cab and so
I started cleaning it up, by the way.
Yeah, I said, Jack, I'm sorry.
I'm on it.
You have to take care of it. Now, my wife,
I cleaned chunky vomit out of my couch the week before. I was ready to go.
I've never seen her close to this drunk. I've only ever seen her drunk a couple of times. Like honestly, she just doesn't drink. And so we come down. She's so wasted she can hardly stand. And I put her up against like there was like an SUV like on the street. I said, lean up against this. I said, when the Uber comes, right? When the Uber comes, you act like you're 14 years old and you've just come home drunk and your parents are there. You know what I mean? That level of like just sober up for just the minute you get in the car. And then you can fall asleep in the car, right? And so I get in the car and the guy looks at me.
Wow, what were you worried about?
he was going to say, no, I'm not taking that person.
I took all drunks when I drove over.
She had a bit of vomit on
the
her.
vomit, maybe not.
She wasn't looking to fight. Right? Dressed as a cop, so she could have arrested him or something.
Or shot him.
Anyway, so he rocks up, and then she gets into the cab and she falls asleep, and I'm started laughing because I'm going through everything in my head. I'm like, she literally hasn't had a drink in 18 months. And it couldn't have gone worse.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been a worse drinking experience. Like, she really fucked it. Like, it wasn't like her best work, right? So I'm giggling and she's like, why are you laughing at me? And now the guy's starting to panic. I'm like, honey, just calm down. Calm down. We're going to get you home. So I get her home and I open the Uber door and I run around the other side to lift her up. And as I lift her up, and it wasn't a lot just on the seat, and the guy just looks at me and I'm like, oh man. And my Uber rating was already fucked by a previous girlfriend who had a dog piss on the back of the fucking car. So nothing I've ever done. My Uber rating is ruined from the women in my life, right? And I'm like, fuck, my Uber. And I said, mate, just wait here. So I ran into the house and I got all the cash that I could find in the whole house, which was $500. And I came down and I said, just please don't give me a bad rating. I'm already on the brink of not getting Ubers, please. Right? And he just looked at me, all right, took the cash, and he didn't give me a bad rating. God bless him. So then my wife laid on the floor in the house like this, right? Her friend who was babysitting for us, who incidentally was like, when we came in, this is how fast this all happened. Her friend said, did you forget something?
Yeah, because I was going to say, I left at like 10:30, so this couldn't have been past 11.
We got there at 9:45. Yeah. Right, this is 11 o'clock now, right? Did you forget something? And I went, no. And she fell in and she was there. And now she's like at that fun level of drunk where she's giggling about it. Oh, I do want you to drink. And so we gave her what, but the thing that she remembers from it, she goes, can I have some toast with jam on it? And I said, I'll just get you toast. And I was just going to get a toast because I thought the jam might upset her stomach some more. She just needed dry food like that. And I said, you don't deserve jam. And she still brings it up. Out of this whole story, I was such a bastard and said she didn't deserve jam. Then the next day, I go to Jack. I need Nolan's number. Fucking hell.
Yeah, we were on the road.
Yeah, I said, I got to fucking... And I said, I got to apologise and offered everything. So I texted you guys. I said, look, and I meant it as well. I said, I'm very happy to replace the couch or the dry cleaning or whatever needs to be done. I'm really sorry. And I explained the whole thing. And I was very earnest about the whole thing. And then you said, no worries. I think I
have the text pulled up.
I think it took a while, right, too? Because I remember you. I think you sent it, and then I went on stage. I remember this. Well, he hasn't responded yet.
I'll briefly tell like my side of the story.
Okay.
Right, I think we had 350 people.
Right, yeah.
In my house.
We shut it down early, right? Because it just got overwhelming.
Early was like 2 a.m. About at like 11:30, I was standing out on my doorstep dressed as Satan, begging people to like please not like be playing basketball in my neighbor's yard. Like,
it turned into like an 80s movie when your house gets taken over.
Yes. Project X.
It went full Project X. And so what's really funny about when you're hosting like a party like that is you are just a passing character in somebody's either really amazing night or really terrible night. And I guess for you and Daisy, I was a passing character. And so like, I wasn't even aware of any of this.
No, but I thought if you found it, I had to own up. I had to tell the truth. I couldn't just go, fuck it, no one will ever see it. And flip the couch or whatever. That's not the right thing to do. So I thought I had to own up to it.
Yeah.
And so if you got... continue.
All right. So I am in, I think, Florida at this point when I get your message. Oh, so I got it on Tuesday. And I decided to like let you sit for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I can read yours. Hello, Nolan. This is Jim Jeffries. I just want to apologize for the other night. My wife hasn't had a drink in 2 years since being pregnant. and then staying home with the baby. So she got overexcited to be going to a party, and she got drunk very quickly. She did vomit on your sofa as I was waiting for an Uber to get her home. We are both deeply embarrassed about this, and I wanted to reach out and say sorry. I'm more than happy to buy you a new couch if it needs replacing. Thank you for let's in your home, and once again, I'm very sorry. You're not great with the grammar.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
I don't spell check.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I should wear glasses all the time, and I just sort of.
Eyeball it. We waited for a little bit, and then I was with Sean Marquette.
Sean Marquette, who was here last week on the podcast.
we decided to fuck with you because it was just such an endearing text that we're like, you're gonna bare your soul to us and be that vulnerable. Like,
No, it's not vulnerable. I thought that was an earnest
You
apology.
get my
that's
background.
that's part of
It's
it.
nice,
yeah. So we were gonna attack you for it, and so I responded 2 days later, and I said, "Hey man." Period. It's never good. Hey man, yeah, rough night, but it happens. You're welcome back, but your wife should probably take a break from the parties.
Oh, that's right. I remember this now. Yeah.
And I was like, "Fucking this."
Yeah, because that's what we were on the road when you replied. That's what happened. Because I remember that's what happened. You go, what do you think about this text?
It's
Like, yeah.
so
I was like, yeah, you don't have to go after your wife like that.
My wife hasn't partied in 2 years.
Yeah.
She should take a break. Thanks for the offer. The couch is HD Buttercup, so it's a one-off. But I'm happy to find something similar and have Jack send you.
I already Googled it. It was like an HD Buttercup is like a 12 grand couch or some shit. And I was like, I already said to my wife, all right, well.
Meanwhile, we're texting Jack on like a group chat. He's like, "Can you please not do this right now?"
But how long did you let that sit? Because I remember you read it to me and I went on stage. I go, yeah, it sounds like it's
then I
upset.
got a voice message.
Because Nolan screenshotted that to me and then sent it to me. I was like, oh shit, Nolan's pissed. I didn't know he was joking either. I was like, oh, fuck. I felt responsible because I brought everyone here together. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so screwed. Yeah. And then
and then I got a voice message from you and Sean, and it already starts with. It starts with just Sean laughing. All you can hear is like, and then he's like, and then you said, "I'm fucking with you, man." Like that. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, but you let that linger long enough.
We let it sit for a couple hours.
You asked me about the text. You go, what do you think about this? I go, sounds like he's upset. Like, doesn't like your wife very much.
So that I actually didn't realize it was that couch, but that couch, I had it for a month, and then I had no, wait, no, don't worry.
You've already forgiven me, mate.
No. I had it for a month, and then at my like 4th of July party, like 3 years ago, someone peed on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like at that point, I was like, this couch has seen a lot. Like we basically we have a
vomit. Yeah, all day.
Yeah,
That's way worse.
we run like a.
Now I'm going to tell my wife that she was laying in piss.
Maybe that's why she threw up. Yeah.
I even kept texting on like, how is the couch? Is it okay? He's like, I haven't looked, man. I don't give a shit.
Well, that's what Jack.
Piss couch.
Jack rang
I
me up and he
sit on
goes,
that thing.
I think there's so many broken things in that house. He'll have to get to it.
From the party, there was just like everything was wrecked.
Yeah, it's just like
sticky floors,
and
it's the worst.
vomit, and I had to the next day. It was one of the. Like I had like really bad post-drinking anxiety, and then I had to walk up and down my entire street with my friend and grab like Solo cups and
Oh my
bottles
God.
that had been like left on like my neighbor's kids' playgrounds, and like in like their little like RC cars and stuff like that. And I was like, so Jack's texting me like, "Hey, there's some bomb on the couch." I was like, "I don't care,
I don't give a
as long as it's in the house." Like,
Oh yeah, no, we didn't venture out and ruin anything off the house. just the Uber. And the funny thing is, because whenever I drank and did something stupid, the shame I would feel the next day, but because my wife she lives a very clean life. She never really gets in any trouble. She's just like, oh, well, I made a mistake. She forgave herself like that.
It's because she loves herself too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We don't get the pleasure of having
exactly.
no
I
hangover
remember that too.
anxiety.
She was
I was looking at her marveling like, that's what a healthy mind.
That's confidence?
Yeah, that's what a healthy person. That's a person whose parents like treated them nicely.
Gave hugs every once in a while.
I think we got to wrap up here because I think we gotta So
are you kicking me off? Is that
no?
It's fine.
I mean,
I'll show myself.
You can
out.
stick around for the rest too, but I think we got to wrap this part up. Like so. Yeah.
All right. Well, Thanks, everyone.
Well, I didn't mean you have to go. I mean, you know, you can.
No,
No,
Forrest said it's time to.
Yeah.
Yeah, Forrest.
Sorry, Patreon subscribers.
Christopher.
Yeah, sorry.
Fucking run, Forrest, run.
I'll be the bad guy. Fine.
Forrest doesn't want you to get more entertainment than you should.
Yeah.
You didn't pay enough.
I'll accept the comments. Send them direct to me.
All right, everyone. Well, Nolan, thanks for being on the show. You're
thanks for
welcome
having
whenever you want, or if you even want to come on one of the regular ones. You got a specialty subject?
Yeah, do I got a special?
Are you an expert at anything?
An expert in anything?
Oh my god.
You're a certified genius. You gotta have
I am,
something.
yeah, but I don't know
How
if
you-
anything
how
you want
you
to talk about.
Party
I can
planning?
Talk, party planning.
Yeah.
I can talk about like Appalachian folk music. I can talk
How to
about
get
like,
vomit out of velvet?
the physics of scuba
Wait,
diving.
Appalachian folk music.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
really? You're into that?
I know a lot about it. Yeah, I'm a banjo player.
The banjo.
I
We
was
do a banjo episode. Yeah, banjo.
we could do an episode about all.
Can you bring the banjo in and play it?
Yeah, of course. My dad wasn't around a lot when I was growing up, and so I really looked up to like Mumford and Sons as like that was the pinnacle of what a man.
That's who raised you?
Should be.
Mumford and
I
Sons was
they
my
should,
dad.
They should wear vests.
I
and
see
play-
you got the
play-
you got this looks like very Mumford.
Yeah,
Sons-y.
it's still on. It's in my core.
I got
so.
drugged at a Mumford and Sons concert, but it was a really fun concert.
Wait. What kind of drug?
I think it was hallucinogenics, actually.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
And it was a member of the band that did it. So I don't know why you looked up
Was
to
it
him.
one of Mumford's sons?
Yeah, it was,
I don't know.
well, estranged,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Is it his actual sons in the band?
No.
Oh, right.
Who is Mumford?
Is one of them called Mumford?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lead
Marcus
singer.
Mumford. Yeah.
Marcus Mumford, he's like branched out on all solo stuff, but he wants to assure people. I just heard this on Sirius XM when they were playing. He wants to assure people that they still exist, Mumford and Sons.
They're out there.
Yeah, there'll be new music.
Watch out.
That's what he said.
It always must
Sleep
be-
with one eye open.
Be weird to be in a band.
We the
where-
Sons.
Well, just don't be in any band where it's like, you know, you sort of have to work with people all the time. I just think it would be weird.
Oh, I thought you meant in a bit. Yeah, I have a script I was saying where the guy is upset because about the internet coming because he used to tell people he was in bands that you could reference but you couldn't look up. So he'd be like, "Yeah, I was in the Blowfish, Foodie and the Blowfish. I was the bass player." And I'd be like, well, "Okay, I guess I have to accept that." You know, that's how he'd pick up women. And then the internet came out and he blew it all up. Yeah, he was in the
Spot.
Silver
Well, you
Bullet
think-
band.
Okay,
I'm
so
not in the Sunshine Band.
So we've known each other about 16 years, Forrest, right? Maybe 15 years.
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds right.
We've probably had maybe 2-3 fights, right?
Yeah,
Probably 2-3 fights.
Not many.
And they've been over quick, you know. But
They're very awkward, though, I gotta say.
Well, we've only had one in front of you.
It was very awkward.
I know we had one in front of you. We had one on the golf course once, but it's.
I think that's about maybe.
We've had little bickerings.
Were those
Little
the two big
bickerings.
ones?
Yeah, they were the two big
Okay.
ones. Yeah, they're the two big ones.
The other things have been little bickerings. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
little-
remember one time we were in Israel, and you were shooting the field piece for the circumcision, and I was uploading the podcast back here that we did at the time, and you had shot the first part, and you were really sick. There was a point where everyone was getting the flu on that tour, and it was your turn, and you were just lying in your bed in between the two guests, and you were like just miserable, and you were upset that I wasn't there, and I walked in the door, but I don't think Scott and Andrew had ever seen us have a fight. And it wasn't a fight, but I remember you walked in, you're like, "Where have you been?" I go, "I was uploading the fucking podcast." And then that was it. And then Scott and Andrew were just in the corner like, "Oh, is that it?" And we're like, "No, we're good now."
But I'm saying it happens on the road because we live out of each other's pockets quite a lot, so it's going to come up, and we fight very little. You know what I mean? But imagine if we had to artistically do something together all the fuck. I reckon if you're in a band, there would be fucking. Oh, is he going to do this stupid fucking dance that he does with his fucking... He'd be on the drums like this going, he's wearing that fucking hat.
Yeah, or you wrote the song, but then the other person the lead singer always gets credit, and you wrote it, and you're just like...
Is there any internal strife in the doohickeys going on?
So far, so good.
All right.
Yeah, you got a lot of people in the band now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let it go to your head.
No, not possible.
Doohickeys and
Hate
sons.
myself too much.
Doohickeys and daughters.
Dick's daughters.
Yeah.
Doohickeys daughters.
Yeah.
Every time I met like someone who's from like a famous sort of band, there's always, oh no, I can't fucking deal with that cunt anymore. towards the end. And
Yeah.
they must have been close friends to begin with. I'm just saying.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Pink Floyd's
Yeah.
a great example now. They're still bickering. And it's like,
the
you guys,
Beatles. The
I mean,
Beatles.
look at us.
As a
We've
what?
been doing
I mean,
this. We've been doing podcasts for 4 years.
And I hate Kelly.
Forrest fucking called me at 5 o'clock this morning. Fuck that
That
guy.
was
The Beatles never stopped bickering. You know,
Yeah.
they kept on going the whole time.
I'm telling you, Pink Floyd right now, David Gilmour and Roger Waters are still in publicly fucking arguing about shit.
Although he just defended Gilmore for something.
He did that, and like literally the comments underneath were like, "Oh, they're getting back. This is the world I want to live in." It's like,
Fleetwood Mac made an entire career out of it.
If I watch Nolan Liam Gallagher fight on Twitter anymore, it makes me very upset. Every now and again, Oasis is about to get back together, and then Liam fucks it with a tweet. It's like they get so close.
But it's annoying as a fan. You see it, and you're just like,
Well, I'm
all right,
optimistic
all right.
that Oasis will get back together because Noel just got divorced. And Liam, you know, that's like sort of. I think that's why Guns N' Roses got back together because Slash got divorced. And
Oh,
it's
really?
like, yeah, we need to tour again. I've got to pay this fucking thing
Oh,
off.
shit.
And then like, this is how bands get together: divorce or a funeral. Because like someone's mum dies. And you go, I knew her when I was a teenager. I better show up to the funeral. And that's like the Stone Roses got back together because of a funeral.
I don't want to upset you, but we got to wrap it up.
All right. Good night,
I thought you were gonna get angry. That'd have been funny.
No. I don't want to fight with you anymore.
It was funny. Throw something.
All right. Good night, everyone.